Good afternoon, folks. This is Danny with Danny's Luxury Cruise Vacations, and we're here today with Anthony from Atlas Cruise Lines, or Atlas Ocean Voyages, I should say, excuse me. And Atlas is a relatively new and up-and-coming cruise line. They're high-end yacht-style cruising, and Anthony was kind enough to spend a few minutes this afternoon going over how wonderful Atlas is, where they go, and what they have to offer. So welcome, Anthony. Thanks for being here.
I appreciate it, Danny. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to highlight Atlas Ocean Voyages and what we're all about.
Beautiful, beautiful. So I guess if I can, I'd like to start off by asking, where does Atlas Ocean Voyages fit in with the luxury travel market, the luxury cruise market?
Yeah, we're kind of in a unique place, being we're newer and our ships were purpose built for not only expedition but in getting into smaller nooks and crannies. We tend to attract a different type clientele than we normally would. But I would put us in the luxury market, but we're definitely smaller than a lot of the other cruise lines that are out there. Our ships, we have three ships right now, uh, and we have one more that's in the process of being built as we speak, and then two more on order. So we'll have six identical ships that will be exploring the world. But I would consider us luxury and yacht style cruising, and our real tagline is intimate yachting expeditions. So um, we do year round expeditions, which I'll touch on in a little bit, but it is year round expeditions.
Beautiful, beautiful. And what would you say are your demographics? Do you target a specific market, or would everybody fit in?
Yeah, we primarily promote in North America. So like a lot of the other luxury cruise lines, they're getting customers from all around the world, which is a great thing. But we primarily focus on the United States and Canada, and that's where a majority of our guests are. Um, Other than that, we don't target other demographics other than North Americans, but we seem to be getting a lot of customers in their 40s, 50s, and 60s that are traveling with us. We're getting younger people than we even imagined when we were formed and had our first voyage 2.5 years ago. We thought we were going to get an older clientele, maybe 70s and even 80s, but we're getting a younger clientele. Don't get me wrong, we're getting people in our 70s and 80s,
Hmm.
but I just came back this past summer from my sixth Atlas cruise, and every cruise I've been on, I was shocked at not only the number of people in their 40s, but even people in their 30s, which was kind of blew my mind that people had the time and the money in that age bracket to do these type of trips, which was fantastic. But because I know when I was in my 30s, I had a wife and three kids, and I was lucky to go away to a hotel for 2 nights. And I was like,
Yeah.
yeah, this is vacation, 2 nights away. And these people are dropping money, the 30-year-olds, and they're spending money, and I salute them. That's a great thing. And we tend to get people that have money but don't act like they have money. So we don't get a stuffy crowd, which I love. You don't realize how affluent our clients are until you're having a conversation with them on a shore excursion or sitting at a bar having a cocktail and realizing they might own this business or that business or some big executive, but they're just a regular Joe,
Mhm.
just wants to have a great time and not be around large crowds and wants great food and great service. And they came to us for one reason or another, and now they're hooked.
Beautiful, beautiful. And I guess that leads me into my next question. Where does Atlas sail to? Where do you folks cruise to?
Yeah, right now we have three ships that are in the water. Like I said, one's being built, and then two more on order. So our entire fleet right now is in Antarctica, and they're doing extremely well. Last year we had 25 departures in Antarctica, and we sold out every single day. This year we even have more departures because we got our third ship this past November. So once they leave Antarctica in the March timeframe, they'll start heading up and doing some Falkland Islands. They'll do some Argentina, Chile, Uruguay programs, then make their way to the Caribbean and do a few Caribbean voyages, go into some really smaller ports, unique ports where the big ships can't get to,
Mhm.
like Montserrat and Jost Van Dyke and St. Bart's, like these places where the bigger ships wish they could go, but they can't. They would hit bottom if they got within a mile of some of the places we go to. And then once we finish with the Caribbean, we start making our way over to the Canary Islands, head over to Morocco, And then we'll spend a lot of time in the Med. So we'll do some great places to Greece and Italy, Croatia, France, Spain, Portugal, Monaco, and then we'll have a ship head up and do some of Northern Europe. They'll do England, Scotland, and Ireland. We'll have two ships doing the Arctic, which is exciting. Because last year we only had one, and it's going to do places like Svalbard. We're looking for polar bears and walruses. We're going to be doing Greenland and Iceland and really exciting places up in the Arctic because these ships were built specifically for expeditions and going to the polar regions, but they also do a heck of a job hitting these places in between the two
Hmm.
polar regions.
Beautiful, beautiful. And talking about your ships and where you go and everything, is everything included? And if everything's included, does that include shore excursions?
We are very inclusive, but I wouldn't say all inclusive. Um, Shore excursions in most of the world are not included. Uh, we'll have a variety to choose from, and there's a fee for them. They're very reasonably priced, and we'll have a variety of anywhere from 3 to 7 options to choose from. Uh, we will include one land-based excursion in Europe. We call it an Epicurean expedition, where we'll be taking people to either maybe a winery or mozzarella making factory or something food and wine based that really takes in the Epicurean feel
Mhm.
to it, which is great. We do include all our landings in the Arctic. So if you're going up to Svalbard or Greenland, or if you're going to Antarctica, all your landings and Zodiac excursions are included. On the ship, we include all your meals, including specialty dining and 24-hour room service. We include all your beer, wine, and spirits 24 hours a day. We even have a room service for not only food, but for alcohol as well. So at
Nice.
midnight, you want a cheeseburger and a dirty martini, press 7, and boom, we'll whip it up, bring it to you free of charge. We also include specialty dining. We include gratuities are included. There's a lot included. Emergency
Okay.
evacuations, insurance is included. We include a Wi-Fi package. So it's very comprehensive
Yep.
program.
Perfect, perfect. Now, as far as your actual ships are concerned, I know different cruise lines have different categories of accommodations. Are all your accommodations suites, or does that vary?
Yeah, not all of them are suites. We do have 10 suites, and they are quite gorgeous. They have a separate living room, they have a separate bedroom, and they have a balcony that cuts across both rooms and nice size bathrooms as well as butler service is included, so they could help order your room service for you or your shore excursions. They'll help with the laundry if you need some clothes cleaned. So the suite service is quite pleasant. All of our staterooms are outside staterooms, just so you know that we don't have any inside staterooms. Most of them are balcony accommodations. They're 270 square feet, and they have includes 52 square feet of outside space on the balcony. Has a little sitting area right by the balcony, and then you also have a table and a couple chairs on the balcony, and really really nice bathrooms. And then our second most common stateroom we have is called a Horizon stateroom, which is a French balcony, or some people call it a Juliet balcony, where you don't have the true outside space to walk out on, but you have a button that you push, and the top half of the window drops down to the bottom half, so you have like the feel of being
Yep.
outside because you have the smell and the sounds and the breeze coming in of the ocean, but you're not actually outside. And then you
Got
have
you.
a love seat and a couple chairs and a table right there next to the French balcony as well. And we do
Beautiful.
have a handful of staterooms, which a lot of solo travelers like, or if you're really on a tighter budget, we're called Ocean Adventure staterooms. They're 186 square feet, so they're smaller than the rest of our staterooms, and they don't have a window that can open. They have a nice size picture window, but they're on deck 3, so they're closer to the water line, so you can't open the window. But for solo, like I said, for solo travelers or people that are on a tighter budget, this is a great accommodation to be in because you really shouldn't be spending a lot of time in your staterooms anyway. You should be enjoying some of the great public areas we have. I mean, we have a great swimming pool and a hot tub. We have a spa. We have 2 lounges. One's called the Dome Lounge on the upper deck far forward, which people always hanging out here. Gorgeous views. We'll have entertainment there nightly and a bar. And then we have the Atlas Lounge where people hang out here as well. We have different shows here and entertainment and bars there as well. So no matter how big or small your room is, we encourage you to be out and about, not only on the ship enjoying all the great amenities that we have, but you should be on the land. If we're obviously if we're somewhere at dock, you should be enjoying some of the great ports that we are visiting throughout the cruise.
Perfect, perfect. And to wrap things up here, Anthony, I guess my last question for you is going to be, um, who would be a good fit for Atlas Ocean Voyages? If there is such a good fit, or is it for everybody?
No, it's definitely not for everybody. Um, I'll tell you who it's not for. We'll start with that first. I have clients, and I was at a travel and adventure show in New York City this past week. There was 30,000 people that came by, not all to my booth. And I had people come by, and they seem like very pleasant people. And they're like, "Oh, do you have a casino on board?" And I'm like, "No, no, no." And they're like, I need to gamble. I need to gamble." I'm like, "You live an hour from Atlantic City. Do you really have to gamble every single day?" I said that to myself. I didn't say that to them because I'm from New Jersey. So sometimes
Hmm.
I speak my mind, and it gets me in trouble. And so you have some people that need a casino. They need a casino and won't cruise with anyone without a casino. They're not for us. You have people that need these big, elaborate shows. They need a Las Vegas type show. They need a Broadway type production. They're not going to get that with us. So if they like those type of things, great. But if they don't need it, they're going to love us, and they'll probably never go back to a big ship. But you have some people that need it, like they need to see showgirls with feathers out of their, coming out of their back, and they need these big productions. If you need that, you don't come on with us, and don't go with any small ship because none of the luxury lines or the smaller ships are going to have these type of Las Vegas shows or Broadway type productions. If you need bingo, if you need to play bingo 3 times on a cruise, we're not the cruise line for you. If you like bingo, great, and you live without it, great. But if you need it, don't cruise with us. There's a lot of lines that'll offer you that. We get people that do not want to be around big crowds. They want incredible food, fantastic service. They want to be pampered. They want to go to ports of call where the big ships can't go to. They want to pull into some of these little harbors and unique ports where just the locals are hanging out, or maybe just the Europeans are hanging out, and there's not a giant ship after a giant ship after a giant ship, and there's 10,000, 20,000 tourists there. They want to go where there's no tourists or as few as possible. So they like the finer things in life. A lot of them are drawn to Atlas because not only are we luxurious and the reviews online have been off the charts, but we're a much better value than most luxury cruise lines out there. I shouldn't say most, I should say all luxury cruise lines. We are a better value because we are a newer cruise line. We've been sailing for 2.5 years. We don't have the client base that some of these cruise lines have that have been in business 20, 30 years. So we're building up our client base. So to get this client base, we have to have an unbelievable product, great food, great service, unique itineraries, and make it a little more affordable to lure them in. So most of them are getting to Antarctica because we're thousands of dollars less than our competitors to Antarctica. So they're cruising with us for the first time to Antarctica, and now 80% of them booked us somewhere else. They're going to Croatia next, or they're going to England, Scotland, Wales, and they're going somewhere else around the world because they fell in love with us on that very first cruise. So
Beautiful, beautiful. Well, I think that hits everything in a nutshell, Anthony. I think we have a good feel for what your wonderful product is, and I want to thank you for joining me today.
Danny, I appreciate the time. Thank you so much for this opportunity.
You're welcome.